address the council, you can come to the podium, give your name and your address, and you'll be given 5 minutes to address the council. We have 2 people that are already scheduled to do that. One of them is Jeff Art, and he is out of town at another council meeting, so we're going to put him on the second public participation. So that would leave Phyllis Parker, who she can address.
Children graduated from Polo High School. 9 of my grandchildren graduated from Polo High School. My first son's daughter was salutatorian in her class. My second son's son was salutatorian in his class. My third son's children graduated from North Kansas City School District. His second daughter went to Maryville College. After she graduated, she served as a missionary for 3 years in Malaysia. My daughter's daughter was valedictorian in her class. We are not a perfect family. We have troubles and problems like everyone else. My dear cousin, Eileen Porter, also graduated from Polo. That was many years ago. She became a great teacher who loved her students, especially after losing her only child, Marilyn Ruth, to liver cancer at the age of 11. At the end of Eileen's earthly life in 2002, she left $1 million to the Maryville College. But this year a very sad thing happened. A very cruel thing happened in Polo. A girl, Elizabeth, who graduated with my granddaughter, was shot in the back of her head as she walked on the street of Polo. She had a backpack with drugs in it, and she lay in a pool of blood as her life ebbed away. The assailant was a man who took the backpack and ran. The police got him before not too much. Police and sheriff got him before too long. I believe marijuana is a dangerous drug because it is considered harmless. My brother has a grandson put away for drug use. I don't think he'll ever get out. I think he tried to kill himself at one time, and then he tried to kill somebody else. I have a friend whose grandson had been and is in prison now for drug use. Back and forth, maybe 8 to 10 years. Marijuana is no laughing matter, nor to be taken lightly. I believe it will put more burden on the police force. It will bring more undesirables to the city. I am not putting people down. I really have a hurting in my heart for those who are controlled by pot, the street name. This marijuana pot manufacturing operation is a done deal. But what my question is, what can we do to help people stay off these drugs and keep them from addiction? Do you have any questions or point there? Opinions?
I think probably the thing to do might be if you would leave your phone number with either the police officer or the manager.
I have
Oh, you have it? Okay, never mind. And they can have a conversation conversation on what we can and can't do, and they'll reach back out to you.
It seems like it's a terrible thing, and there's a lot of, this is a turbulent time, and I just, if it's okay, I would like to put my verse.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, you have up to 5 minutes.
Jeremiah 9:23-24. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understands and knows me, that I am the Lord, which exercises loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. And I would like to sing a little song for you too. Good night.
We're at 5 minutes.
Maybe, are we at 5 minutes? The clerk has said we're already at 5 minutes.
Pardon?
The clerk has said we're at 5 minutes, I'm sorry.
Well, okay, so,
But could, manager, do you think that you'll be able to reach out to her by the end of the week?
Yes, I will.
Okay, you'll be getting a phone call from the manager by the end of the week.
okay, thank you.
I'm sorry we have to enforce the 5-minute rule.
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else wishing to address the council? Okay, seeing none, next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Are there any requests to move items from the consent agenda to the regular agenda? Seeing none, the clerk will now read the items on the consent agenda.
Item A, motion to approve the minutes of the November 1st, 2021 regular session.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to pass the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item on the agenda, we have appointments, and the first one is to the park board. I believe the park board has made their recommendations, if I understand it correctly. And it is for a Robbie Peterson and a Crystal Youngs to be appointed to the park board at the board's recommendation. We have a new method of doing this, so I'm still kind of working through it. Okay, is there any discussion?
I know Matt, the chair of the park board, puts an awful lot of effort to vet the candidates. He actually said all of them were really good candidates, so this is, what they came up with.
Okay. All right, then, no discussion. Okay, do we need a motion, or do we just proceed to the next thing to approve?
It'll just be, you making the appointment and then the vote.
Okay, okay. All right, so I, Mayor Dennison Clark, do hereby appoint Robbie Peterson and Crystal Youngs to the park board. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3. Motion carries 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Want to thank them for their willingness to serve.
And the next one is just review only, not for vote. What does that mean? That means if you guys want to discuss it, you can, otherwise it will be on the next agenda for the later. Okay.
Okay, so, is there any discussion on that, or shall we just include it on the next agenda? I'm not going to include it. Okay, that's what we will do. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the city manager's report. Manager Rasmussen.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I have 3 items. The first item is we have a need for a quarterly budget adjustment, but we're going to propose doing that in December, and I will ask Carmen to come up she is not here tonight, but I will ask her to contact each of you and see when you might like to do that, possibly in the first week in December. There are several things we have to put on that. One of the things is the council has wanted to talk about perhaps a proposed use tax, so the finance committee can talk about that. And also we have an additional cost of $16,000 in legal fees that we incurred during September and October for the ongoing lawsuit by Cameron Regional Medical Center. Anticipating a like amount in November and December, staff will ask the council to advance $32,000 for the litigation service line item, and we'll ask the finance committee where they would like to take this from. So we'll schedule that meeting. Carmen will be in touch with everybody on the finance committee to get together to a finance committee meeting to talk about that budget adjustment. The next thing I wanted to mention was on the October financial report, which you have attached to it. All of that looks pretty much in line, except that you will find in the sewer fund, the fund cash balance is down to $103,000, and that's a considerable amount less. We've dropped that a lot, and the reason for that is because we have requirements for the sewer department that we have to make, so we're trying to pay that down in advance so that we will have to borrow less. Zach feels that the amount we've got in there now is adequate, and Zach, if you could come up and answer any more questions about the council may have or add anything to that.
Yeah, and that number there is strictly cash available today. Like she said, there are a lot of requirements with our loan, our bond requirements that require us to have so much debt service, the additional money, and so that's not included in that money there. So that's not entire wastewater fund.
Question?
Okay, thank you. And then the last item I had is this is an announcement I've been waiting for 2 years to make. And so I'm pleased to be able to say this. And that is the Great Northwest Wholesale Water Commission received a letter on Friday from Clark Thomas, the acting Missouri State Director. And he said, "Dear Chairman and Board of Directors, USDA Rural Development has obligated funding for this water system improvement project. Therefore, we authorize bidding of this project." And I've asked Zach if we could start tomorrow, and he said he could.
That's been worse than having a baby. For those of you that do not know, this is the largest project that USDA has done in the state of Missouri. It's taken a lot of time to work through how things are supposed to be. And Zach is the chair for that. And we have 2 cities that are a part of this commission. Cameron is one. I'm the commission member, and then Maysville is. So it was a lot of work. Steve did a lot too.
Well, thank you. And Zach and the commission have been working on it now, I think, for 6 years, Zach.
Yes, I think the initial obligation was in 2015.
Yeah,
And again, the concept, we actually started on the project about 2003 was the initial start of this concept, this idea. So yeah, it's been going on for quite a while.
As everyone knows, drought in northwest Missouri are a perpetual problem. They've been talked about for 100 years or so, and this is going to solve that problem for us.
yeah, it is.
Thank you very much, Mayor. That's all I have.
Any questions or comments for the mayor? Okay. The next item is unfinished business. We had previously postponed Bill 2021-34. We're still waiting on an environmental assessment, and so we're going to go ahead and we'll pull that off the agenda. Next item on the agenda is a second and final reading on Bill 2021-36.
Bill 2021-36, an ordinance approving a service agreement between the Cameron Fire Protection District and the City of Cameron, Missouri to provide fire protection and emergency services outside the Cameron city limits.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to pass Bill 2021-36 on the second and final reading by roll call.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion? Go ahead and call for a vote.
Roy Estes. Dennis M. Clark.
Yes. Motion carries, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item on the agenda, we have a second and final reading on Bill 2021-37.
Bill 2021-37, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of a quitclaim deed for the tract of land platted as South Orange Street right-of-way to Jeffrey E. Smith Investment Company, LLC.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to pass Bill 2021-37 on second and final reading by roll call.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote.
Julie Osmond.
Yes.
Roy Estes. Dennis M. Clark.
Yes.
Becky Curtis.
Yes.
Motion carries, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Okay, next item on the agenda, Bill 2021-38, we have a second and final reading.
Bill 2021-38, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of a quitclaim deed for a tract of land platted as South Orange Street right-of-way to Michael Albertson and Carla Albertson.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to pass Bill 2021-38 on second and final reading by roll call.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote.
Roy Estes. Dennis M. Clark.
Yes.
Becky Curtis.
Yes.
Julie Osmond.
Yes.
Bill 2021-38 passes on second and final reading, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item on the agenda, we have a second and final reading on Bill 2021-39.
Bill 2021-39, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of a quitclaim deed for a tract of land platted as South Orange Street right-of-way to Scarab Specialty Properties, LLC.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to pass Bill 2021-39 on the second and final reading by roll call.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote.
Dennis M. Clark.
Yes.
Becky Curtis.
Yes.
Julie Osmond.
Yes.
Roy Estes.
Bill 2021-39 passes, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item on the agenda, second and final reading on Bill 2021-40.
Bill 2021-40, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of a quitclaim deed for a tract of land platted as South Orange Street right-of-way to Neil Stewart and Tamara Jill Stewart.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to pass Bill 2021-40 on the second and final reading by roll call.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote.
Becky Curtis.
Yes.
Julie Osmond.
Yes.
Roy Estes. Dennis M. Clark.
Yes. Bill 2021-40 passes, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item on the agenda, we have a second and final reading on Bill 2021-41.
Bill 2021-41, an ordinance vacating a portion of East 8th Street near the new community park.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to pass Bill 2021-41 on its second and final reading by roll call.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote.
Julie Osmond.
Yes.
Roy Estes. Dennis M. Clark.
Yes.
Becky Curtis.
Yes.
Motion carries, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. That will conclude unfinished business. Next item on the agenda is new business. We have discussion of council member appointment. Counselor?
Yes, as the council is aware, Councilmember John Ingram has resigned his position. According to Missouri law, the city council is to appoint a successor to that position that will serve until the next regular election in April, based on discussions with the election authority, which are the clerks in Clinton and DeKalb County. That will appear as two separate questions on the ballot. One question will be for the regularly scheduled council member that's term will be ending, and one that will be separately stated to fill the 2 years remaining on Mr. Ingram's term. The state law does not outline a process for the selection of a successor due to a vacancy. However, the city council has handled it in two different ways. If the council will remember, Councilmember Estes was appointed due to the resignation of Councilmember Corey Sloan. He served, I think, and Shelley can correct me if I'm wrong, like 2 months.
April, May, and June.
April, May, and June. He was selected because he was the only person that ran for that seat anyway, so that was a pretty easy selection. Previously, in 2015, the council adopted a resolution that outlined a process that included advertising of the vacancy, an application period that closed, a special council meeting where each individual that applied was given 5 minutes, then an evaluation by the council, and then the selection. Again, it is up to the council to determine the process it wants to go through. And that's all I have for right now.
Well, it's funny that each one of those times, I was around, sitting out there, but Roseheim, Councilman Roseheim, moved, and his term was about to come up. And then Roy had just been elected, and that's why he got appointed. So this time, John just won last April, so that's why there's 2 years left. So timing is just very different than.
Well, and the successor that is selected by the council will only serve until the election. They will not serve out the full remaining term of Mr. Ingram's council seat. They will only serve until the April election. And then a successor will be elected and qualified. We're looking through plans here, I know.
Sorry.
For those of you that are out here that probably don't know this, but we have another wrinkle in the fire, and that is that they have changed the filing dates. The last time that, well, I guess Mr. Ingram and Mrs. Curtis signed up, the filing date opened, I believe, around December the 15th, and it closed around January the 18th. Well, the state has changed that. And now the filing date is December the 7th through December the 28th. It is only 3 weeks, and our next regular meeting is on December the 6th. So that makes it, I don't know, a little tough, but,
And I will be putting a notice in the paper the next 2 weeks for candidate filing.
if that's, oh yeah, for candidate filings. So are we discussing this now?
Well, we're discussing the situation in which we find ourselves and the time frame in which we are. And from what we've been told by our counselor, there is no penalty for not selecting at a certain time frame. So that we know.
And that is correct. It does state that the city council shall select a successor, but there is no penalty. Nothing occurs if a successor is not selected within a certain time frame. Obviously, as the council is aware, it takes 3 votes to pass anything, so obviously having 5 people gives greater numbers to the quorum and allows for 3-2 votes and similar things, but there is no penalty in state law if you decide to not select a successor until January or December, or even later.
It serves the people to have 5, it really does, and I'm all for that. But we need to have a clear plan and one that is not gonna get confused with the filings, and so we're gonna try to probably work that out.
Well, to me, I would rather see us, and rather than making a decision today, I think Councilman Estes will be back at the next meeting, and then we'll just discuss it then, and make a decision on how to handle it. Are you okay with that, Councilman? Okay, so I think that's what we'll do, and maybe you can just put that on the agenda for the next meeting. Okay? So I think that will conclude the discussion there. And the next item on the agenda is a full reading of Bill 2021-42.
Bill 2021-42, an ordinance declaring the result of the public election held in the city of Cameron, Missouri on November 2nd, 2021, and authorizing the city to impose a transportation sales tax on retail sales.
Chair would entertain a motion to pass Bill 2021-42 on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? This is just certifying the results.
Just housekeeping.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Chair would entertain a motion to suspend the rules and pass Bill 2021-42 on a second reading by roll call.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote.
Roy Estes, Dennison Clark,
Yes.
Becky Curtis,
Yes.
Julie Osmond.
Yes.
Bill 2021-42 passes, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Okay, next item on the agenda, we have a first reading of Bill 2021-43.
Bill 2021-43, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an aviation project consultant agreement with Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly, Inc. to perform professional services for pavement maintenance at the Cameron Memorial Airport.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to pass Bill 2021-43 on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion, did you want to
Yes.
get off?
Yes, I will. Thank you. This is a public works issue, and Drew Bondrager did the cover memos for that. He is currently, though, out of town at a solid waste conference, and so I'll address these briefly, and then I'll ask Eric from the airport to come up and talk about it in more detail. This one, Bill 44 and 45 are related. 45 is the work to be done to
43 and 44, just for
Yes, I'm sorry. To tell about pavement maintenance for the airport. And the previous one, though, selects the company that will be doing that work. So they're both tied together. If I could, Eric, could you come up and I'll ask him to explain the pavement maintenance, because that's the second one. And then the first one is the selection of the company to do that.
First, the Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly, basically they're here for design and engineering for the project. We selected them recently through a qualification-based selection process. They have been approved by MoDOT. The agreement with them has been approved by MoDOT as well. And again, specifically for the engineering design and inspection, I guess, of the project once it's in process. The project's going to include crack seal coat, and markings, the asphalt, taxiway, and aprons. We want it to be done this winter, but it's probably not going to happen based on the readings we have to do with this, and we'll probably be done with weather and those. So it'll probably be next construction season, I would imagine. We are using what's called non-property entitlement grant funds for this project, and it's only at a 10% match up to $2,800 on the city side. So the max for their design and engineering will be $28,000. That's the max. And again, that and the project itself has been in the budget, approved for the budget.
And the reason we're bringing this back to council, even though the match is only $2,800, which is when our authority to do it, we do have a requirement to bring all the grants back to the city council, so you know about it. So this one, the $25,000 grant is only for doing the plans to do it, and the match, which is $2,800, is what we will pay to Crawford, Murphy, and Taylor. And then the second ordinance then will approve the grant for the total amount of $25,000, of which our portion is 10%. And then we'll come back later with the actual design and the work for the runway. As Eric has said, we have, most of that in the budget already, and then we'll have a grant to do the airport improvement, and that is for, the runway, crack sealing and, marking and overlaying.
Does that $2,800 match come out of the airport budget?
Yes.
Are there any other questions, comments? Okay, well, let's go ahead and we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of passing Bill 2021-43 on first reading, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Good, next item on the agenda, we have the first reading on Bill 2021-44.
Bill 2021-44, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between the City of Cameron, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for a state block grant project 21-013A-2, providing for airport improvements.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to pass Bill 2021-44 on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion?
I think, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, we talked a little bit about that, by Eric to stay up here and do that information.
Any
Yeah.
other questions?
What Drew has planned outlined here is the agreement with the Missouri State Highway and Transportation Commission for the acceptance of the grant monies through the state block grant program associated with the design of the pavement and remarking, at a 9% cost, or 10%. The initial amount of this grant is up to $25,200. This doesn't require 10% match. Grant funds have to be accepted and obligated for the end of December in order to remain valid. These both not to exceed amounts and include this fiscal year's budgets. And we recommend the execution of this.
And this is for design. Yes, ma'am, you have a question?
Yes.
Well, my question basically was, we've talked about block grants before, and that we can only have, on the federal level, we can only have one block grant at a time, is that right?
This isn't a
Yeah.
I know.
Yes.
Okay, how does that work with the state grant?
I don't think that there's a limit on that. This is different than CDBG.
Okay, can these state block grants be used for other things? Or is this the only thing that can be used for?
I think these here are strictly aviation grants.
Yeah, this is,
I think there's other
this is
grants
a,
for different types of projects, but this is just for aviation.
yeah, it's a federal trust fund that's filtered through MoDOT and administered through MoDOT. And we currently get $150,000 a year, what we call non-property entitlement money for projects. We've got, and we can bank it back up to 4 years. We've got a little over $17,000 for 2018 monies. 2019 monies is $150,000. The good thing about the 2020 and the 2021, it's actually 100%. We don't have to reimburse, or we don't have to match those monies for those 2 years. And I think this new federal bill that's happening, we may even receive more money for transportation. So,
Okay, thank you.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and proceed to vote. All those in favor of passing Bill 2021-44 on first reading, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item on the agenda, Resolution 2021-47.
Resolution 2021-47, a resolution authorizing the expenditure of funds for a collaborative Chamber of Commerce, City of Cameron Initiative Grant Project, REMAX Partners.
Thank you. Chair, I entertain a motion to pass Resolution 2021-47.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion?
Yes, Mayor, as you know, we've done a number of these before. I think that this is the 9th of possibility of 10, because we had $5,000 in that line item in the budget. They were $500 each for us, matched by $500 from the Chamber of Commerce, and this will be the 9th one.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Any objections? Okay, we'll go ahead and proceed to vote. All those in favor of passing resolution 2021-47, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item on the agenda, resolution 2021-48.
Resolution 2021-48, a resolution to the City of Cameron, Missouri to accept the proposal for UV disinfection system equipment from Xylem Water Solutions.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to pass resolution 2021-48.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Yes, Director.
I'll ask Zach to talk about this unpronounceable word.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What you have before you tonight is a resolution to purchase some equipment. As you all know, we're in the middle of designing and hopefully getting closer to putting our project out to bid to do our upgrade at our wastewater treatment plant. That's an estimated about $4.3 million project. So we're working on that. But we're kind of in unprecedented times, and so we're kind of having to relook at how we attack some of these issues. We are under a deadline to get this project completed by September of 2022. That's when our new permit will go into place. But in order to be able to meet that deadline, we're having to look at, what parts of our project can we pre-order, what can we do to ensure that we get the equipment here on time and able to meet that timeline. And one other aspect that we're looking at is when it comes to UV disinfection, there was really two options that we could go with for this solution. So we decided that if we went ahead and put that specific piece of the project out to bid, then whichever one we chose, then we could finish design around that piece of equipment and potentially save on some construction costs at the same time. So again, it kind of worked out. There was kind of a win-win situation by doing this. So we worked with HDR, we put out the bids, and we did get two bids back. We anticipated the cost of this structure to be somewhere in the $200,000 range, and we did get a bid for $185,000. So it was a little less than what we thought. Lead time seems to be okay. We're going to work. I'm sure HDR will be anxiously awaiting the outcome of tonight's vote to make sure we can go ahead and get that thing ordered and make sure we have it here on time. But like I said, we're facing new challenges, and we're trying to find ways to be able to combat that and get everything done on time. So that's kind of why this is a little bit different as opposed to bidding the entire package out at once.
Other questions or comments? Okay, thank you, Director.
Thank you.
All right, seeing no other comments, then we'll go ahead and proceed to vote. All those in favor of passing resolution 2021-48, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. That concludes new business, moves us into the next item on our agenda, which is public participation. Is Mr. Art here? Okay.
Just made it.
All right. You have the floor, sir.
Mayor, Council, again, thank you for your time. My name is Jeff Harp. I'm the loss patrol consultant with MIRMA. MIRMA is a self-insurance pool that the city is now a member of. We provide our members with a single multi-line coverage packet. We process and handle the claims, and we spend a lot of time, money, and effort promoting the best practices in risk management. Being a member, you're also eligible to take advantage of the various reimbursement programs that we have. One program in particular, and the reason why I'm here tonight, is our grant program. This program was put together several years ago to help members offset the cost of safety equipment that the city identified a need for, and also fits within our program guidelines. This past year, we received an application from the police department for assistance in purchasing 6 body cams and a dash camera for one of their cars. The committee met and approved $7,890 to go towards that purchase. It is a reimbursement program, so we need to make sure the city buys the items first. When that's done, we'll be more happy to send you the check. In the meantime, we've got a certificate here that says that we do owe you the funds to go towards that for those items. I'd like to thank the chief and the PD for taking the time to fill out the applications and getting this money up there to be used for these items. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and we appreciate it.
Would you like to get a picture of them together, Jimmy?
Yeah, I can do that. We will spend it wisely.
Awesome.
Have you guys moved right? Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right. And 3, 2, 1. And one more. 3, 2, 1.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jimmy. Okay, is there anybody else wishing to address the council during our second public participation? If there is, please come to the podium, list your name and your address, you'll be given 5 minutes. Okay, seeing none, that moves us into the next item on our agenda, miscellaneous comments from the staff. We'll start with the clerk.
I want to wish a belated birthday to Roy and Dennis. Happy belated birthday. And an early birthday to Becky, because we will not have anything for her birthday coming up, so happy birthday. City Hall will be closed on Thursday and Friday, November 25th and 26th for the Thanksgiving holiday. As we previously mentioned, candidate filing will open on December 7th and close on December 28th, only 3 weeks this year. So I will be getting that public notice out in the paper and I'll have packets ready to go on opening days. And encourage everyone to attend the Christmas parade coming up on Saturday, November 27th at 4:30 p.m. and that's being hosted by the Historical Preservation Society.
Thank you. Manager?
I have nothing further. Thank you, Mayor.
Director? Either one of you?
Yeah. Paul, you have an announcement about the.
Yes, I would like to
Okay, great.
have in the lobby out here, we have the display, part of the display from the ICMA conference where we received the award for our demolition program, along with a plaque which also has the article that is in the City Managers Association magazine. So those are out there for display, so we're still waiting on our official award, but we brought those in so we could share those with everybody. A fantastic program. Thanks for everybody's support, and we continue to make it better.
And the one that's on the cardboard is the one that actually was on display in Portland at the International City Managers Association, and Paul asked them if we can have it, so they sent it to us for us.
And I know all of us want to say thank you for all the hard work that you guys have put into this. It's a very successful program, and the results just keep surfacing in unexpected ways. So, great. Thank you. Did you have anything?
Yeah, I just want to make an announcement. In 2022, Great Northwest Day at the Capitol will be February 1st and 2nd. I believe I sent you guys emails with some information regarding Great Northwest Day at the Capitol. Every year we try to send information out to the public about community leaders about some priorities that affect the Great Northwest region of Missouri. Normally with those priorities, those are top issues that affect how communities survive. Last year, just to give you an example, 2 of the priorities were broadband and healthcare. So if you guys can fill those forms out and get them back either to me or submit them to Lisa with the Great Northwest State, her contact information will be on that literature. And I also send it out to a lot of my boards that I work with. We take that information, we compile it together, and we basically rank the priorities and submit that to the legislators in Jefferson City. We actually go down in person and talk with them and let them know what's happening in the community. They listen to us and they try to be the voice for the Great Northwest region. And then, like I said, it's a great opportunity to be down there at the Capitol, to meet with the legislators, and a great event to go down there and showcase what your community has to offer outside of Cameron. That's it.
Terrific. Thank you. Officer, do you have anything for us?
Yes. I want to give you guys an update on our police vehicles. Back October of 20, our lease was up and it was voted on, and y'all allowed us to purchase 6 new 2021 Dodge Durangos. It took us 6 months to get them in, but Sergeant Belshie did a fantastic job. He has them all outfitted, and I'm sure you guys have seen them running around town. So they're strictly for patrol duty, so the patrol officers use those. And we asked to borrow some money out of our tax for the down payment of the Durangos. And they were not going to give us a very good trade-in value on the Chargers. So we come up with the plan to just sell them outright to law enforcement agencies or, you know, fire or law. So we've sold all 6 Chargers, and what they were gonna give us $49,000 for trade-in, and that was in October. Then we had to wait 6 months, which we put more miles on the Chargers, which would have dropped the price for the trade-in. So that's why we decided to sell them outright. I just wanted to let you all know that we sold all 6 Chargers for a total of $75,234. So all 6 of them are gone, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Good job.
That's just one of many examples how public servants in this community try and make the tax dollars go as far as possible. So again, from all of us, thank you, and please pass it on to the department.
Absolutely.
Okay, Chief O'Donnell, do you have anything? Nothing? Okay. Director?
Just a quick shout out, since we do have Jeff with Murmur here, just a shout out for kind of some of the services that Murmur provides for. Not only do they give us grant dollars to buy cameras and stuff like that, but again, you know, they do provide all of our work comp, our liability, all the good insurance we need. But you know, Jeff also came today, did a training for us, did our drug and alcohol training for staff. Like I said, helped us out with the monthly safety meeting. So again, they are insurance provider, but they are also a good resource for the city on a lot of different subjects. So we do appreciate all that they do for us.
Great, thanks. Counselor?
Nothing.
Okay. Then that will conclude the comments from the staff. Next item is miscellaneous comments from the council. Councilwoman? Councilwoman?
Well, I was gonna say, I stepped between 2 birthdays. What's coming up? I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm really sad and about the fact that we have to use your tax dollars to defend ourselves in a lawsuit. And I just want you to know how sad it makes me that this is happening in our community. Hopefully it will resolve soon. That's all I have.
Okay. I don't have anything. That will conclude the comments from the council. Next item on the agenda is the executive session for attorney-client communication and negotiated contracts. Chair to entertain a motion that we go into executive session by roll call.
So moved. Second.
Moved and second.
Dennis M. Clark,
Yes.
Becky Curtis,
Yes.
Julie Osmond,
Yes.
Roy Estes.
Motion carries, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. We'll be going into executive session. I want to thank you all.